world where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence. There is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright, shining light generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight. Kick back and relax. Prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. All those F's, that's an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host is a curious listener. Here she is, Chris.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to your weekend, and welcome to Curious Times. It's Friday, July 8th, and we have me. Brittany's going to come on after. And anybody that wants to pop on while we're yaking about this, feel free to just unmute your damn self and whatever. Recently, okay, first of all, let's clear up what's coming up at Curious Times. Who knows? I got contacted by Yvette earlier today, and she needed to sort of do a last-minute switcheroony. And so she's in for Monday instead of Saturday. And so that leaves me with an open nothingness for tomorrow. And I already had a nothingness for today to fill. So we'll see what we come up with tomorrow, you know what I mean? Theoretically, Kelly from the Cara Center is supposed to be here on Sunday. And while I'm at it, because that's just the way we roll at Curious Times, I am less than professional. And I'm going to say, just hit her up now, hey, are you confirmed for this Sunday? Please advise. Okay, done, right? Do it now, done. I'm sure that that's exciting for all the listeners out there that don't really know, don't really care. But all the people who do know, you've just become accustomed to that from me. Chaos and unprofessionalism. So that takes us to, and then Monday, Yvette Howell. Tuesday, Melissa Bruce, our real astrologer, is here. Maybe we'll ask her, let's quiz Melissa Bruce, the heavy metal psychic, on the Lilith Moon stuff. And then Kathleen Moore is here Wednesday. Jen Young hopefully will be here next Thursday. And a week from tonight, I have nothingness again. We're going to try and do take a little walk on the dark side Fridays or something maybe, And who's at a concert? What are you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Willis? Oh. You mean I don't mean tonight, Carol. I mean when she's here on Tuesday. Yeah. I mean when she's on Tuesday. We're going to learn a little bit about it ourselves, and we'll know a little bit about it, and then we'll see what our good friend, the heavy metal psychic, knows about it. Okay? And hello, Matt. Are you the Matt of a famous psychic medium, or are you a different Matt? And Diane in Canada, and Christy, Carol, Brittany is going to come on in a bit. Beth, first one here, very nice, very nice. It's good when I see somebody early, because I'm like, okay, somebody's going to be here at least. And Amy Kavanaugh was in early too. And I think Amy was looking forward to the Lilith. Heath's here. I was missing Heath yesterday. Where have you been, Heath? Do you have your absentee slip from yesterday? He probably had a night off and got to do something with his wife. Like have dinner. And damn nag, I know, right? See, it's either your wife or nagged over here. We just like to make you feel at home. And so anyway, okay, so that is what's going to go on at this dang show. Ding-a-dee dang, dee-dee-dee-doo. Doo doo doo. Dark moon. Dark moon. Black moon. The moons, the three moons of Lilith. The asteroid Lilith. The black moon Lilith. The dark moon Lilith. What? What is that, you ask? Well, we'll get to that. I just was looking for some stuff to do recently, just resource material for the show, and I came across this dark Lilith Moon stuff, and I was reading a little bit about it. I thought that was kind of interesting, and I mentioned it earlier in the week in overtime or near the end of the show, and a few people seemed very interested in it, and so we decided that we would look into it here tonight. And it's like the blind leading the blind. Like, there's some shows out there that will get all of their stuff and copy and paste it and then like breeze right through it as though they know what they're doing, and that's not me. I'm not going to pretend that I know all of this. I'm going to learn it with you guys. We're going to learn it together. And together. And so please understand, I'm not trying to pretend that I know anything about anything. And we're just delving into it and filling our time that way, And so the interesting thing was that there's all kinds of information out there, but just a little bit of housekeeping information. And so that there's been claims of the existence of other moons of Earth for, of one or more natural satellites other than the moon that orbit Earth that have existed for some time. Several candidates have been proposed, but none of them have been confirmed. Since the 19th century, scientists have made genuine searches for more moons, but the possibility also has been the subject of a number of dubious non-scientific speculations, as well as a number of likely hoaxes. In 1918, astrologer Walter Gornold, I think that's R-N, it could be M because my eyes are failing me, but I think it's Gornold, also known as Saphariel, claimed to have confirmed the existence of Walt-Math's moon. He named it Lilith. Saphariel claimed that Lilith was a dark moon, invisible for most of the time, but he claimed to be the first person in history to view it as it crossed the sun. In 1926, the science journal Die Sterne, published the findings of amateur German astronomer W. Spill, who claimed to have successfully viewed a second moon orbiting Earth. In the late 1960s, John Bargby claimed to have observed over 10 small natural satellites of Earth, but this was not confirmed. I'm going to give you guys the links to wherever I'm reading from for your own, Lilith is the name given to a hypothetical second moon of Earth, supposedly about the same mass as Earth's moon, proposed in 1918 by astrologer Walter Gornold, who called himself Saphariel. Saphariel applied the name Lilith from medieval Jewish legend, where she is described as the first wife of Adam. Saphariel claimed that Lilith was the second moon that scientist George Walt-Math claimed to have discovered 20 years earlier. Saphariel also claimed to be the first person in history to observe Walt-Math's moon as it crossed the sun and rationalized that it was too dark to be otherwise visually detected. Saphariel's comments ignored the fact that Walt-Math's proposed moon had already been discredited by the scientific community at the turn of the century. There are many readily apparent holes in the argument supporting Lilith's existence, and the existence of this astronomical object is believed only by fringe groups. So that's us. Anyway, in present-day astrology, the name Lilith is usually given to a point on the horoscope that represents the direction of the actual moon's apogee, unrelated to the hypothetical second moon. When considered as a point, this Lilith is sometimes defined as the second focus of the ellipse described by the moon's orbit. The Earth is the first focus. The apogee lies in the same direction. It takes 8 years and 10 months to complete its circuit around the zodiac. And so, just to show you guys, this, so the lunar apogee, okay, is here's Earth, right? So the apogee is like the furthest point. I keep having this tool thing in my way over here, but anyway, it's the furthest point from the Earth, you know, so that would be the dark moon, okay? And then here, this space in between, that's between these two, they call that the black moon. And so with the black, now for later, just for fun, I have a thing here where I can look up your guys' birthdays. And I think you kind of need, just your birth date. And it will do the black moon. I wanted to do the dark moon, but I couldn't find something. So, we can have fun with that, and, Brittany can come on. So now, the article I first read is Llewellyn. Okay, so first of all, let me keep my promise. Keep my promise. I'm still trying to get used to this silly Windows 10. Yes. So here's 2 links from just Wikipedia, which contained some of the information that I read initially here. And there's a whole bunch of other. I just cherry picked what I gave you guys out of there. So if you're eager to go and check it out more comprehensively, you can. So now there was a Llewellyn.com article written by Isabel Ganay and dealing with what does Lilith mean in astrology. And so this one is about, it's about, there's so many different articles on it, but I liked this one, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and share that with you. The asteroid Lilith is one of the pantheon of astrological pulse points in a chart, along with Ceres. And if the pronunciation police could stay off my ass, I would appreciate it. Ceres, is that Ceres? The nurturer, Pallas, the wise one, Vesta, the guardian of hearth and home, and Juno, the wife or partner. These asteroids give us information on ourselves in a far more exacting, more determined light than the planets. To understand what these asteroid placements in our chart mean, we need to look at the mythology behind them, and we must be willing to examine them fully. If we look at the unadorned, politically incorrect, archaic tales, we will at least have a place to start. Then we'll see what the story tells us with no frills. So in mythology and folklore, Lilith is the most famous demon goddess of antiquity. Her myth dates back to the time of the stories of Gilgamesh and of the Bible. As the tale unfolds, we find that Lilith was created from sediment to be the first wife of Adam. Once she and Adam got together, she refused to have sexual relations with him in a subservient position. And in other words, she didn't want him laying his sweaty body on top of hers. She demanded that they either engage in these activities side by side or with her laying on top. Adam refused and attempted to force her to have sex with him in the manner he desired. Lilith fled and then became transformed into a she-devil, whereupon she promptly mated with other demons and began to produce demon children. 3 angels appeared to Lilith to tell her to go back to Adam, and when she refused, they began to kill her demon offspring. Lilith then ventured forth to kill Adam's children and grandchildren in retaliation and revenge. Parents wrote on the walls of the house a new baby was born to prevent Lilith from killing a new rival. And that's the story. Now, it's easy to see in our modern times how this story would be told to prevent women from even thinking about transgressing the unbelievably limiting and oppressive moral climate in which they found themselves. Lilith, not wanting to submit to Adam, but instead wanting to be equal, was her first mistake. We can see why Lilith became vengeful, the vengeful evil woman she was, but regardless of her motive, she did turn to evil. When Lilith appears in our horoscope, she is in fact showing us where in ourselves we hold a place of vengefulness, a place where we're willing to become as evil as those around us. Lilith is the dark place in our charts, and to know where that darkness comes from is as important as knowing where it can take us, and how and when. First sign in which Lilith appears will determine how Lilith energy is expressed. The house is where it will manifest itself. The aspects, which must be very small, a 1 or 2 degree orb only, will show what planets are involved in our Lilith drama. Our own charts notwithstanding, knowing how our Lilith placement relates to us through synastry with others is of primary importance. If Lilith is directly on your partner's Venus, ooh, that sounds dirty. Anyway, you'd know straight away that in a love relationship, you could be put in a position of being made to feel unworthy and need to be on your guard. It could also tell you that the person you're involved with will hit all of your trigger spots, and that revenge and rage could be part of the equation. As you sink deeper into the relationship, you need to be very sure you're making yourself clear in all communications in this relationship and not allowing your emotions to run wild. I'm just checking back to make sure my volume's still okay. If I suddenly get muted, I don't have a Lilith on my Venus. I know exactly where your Lilith is, Keith. Somebody hit me up on Skype though, because I'm not looking at the chat room while I'm reading, right? And so if my mic suddenly gets muted, I could read for an hour and not know that you're not hearing the damn thing. So somebody hit me up on Skype. Christy, you have me on Skype. Carol, you have me on Skype. So I don't know if Mary Margaret does, but some of you guys have me on Skype. So just hit me up on Skype if my sound suddenly dies. I'll get an orange blinky message here. So dealing with our own dark side, and that's what we're thinking about trying to do on these Fridays. You know, it's been my pet peeve in the spiritual community that these rainbow and cotton candy lollipop people, refuse to acknowledge the dark side, and they demonize it, and it's you can't have light without dark or dark without light, and it resides in all of us, and it's all in balance. We need to embrace it and understand it, and not deny it. So dealing with our own dark side is never easy, and having Lilith energy show up in the 10th house of career could make us want to hide away forever. But conflict like that must be faced. If you can be pushed to extremes in your career path, it's important to know that. Should you ever be placed in a position where you work under someone who does not respect you, who sabotages your work and views you as a threat, this sounds like me. You may be prone to rage of the highest order. It would be good to be aware of that. Should you ever be provoked, justly or unjustly, you'll need to be able to keep your vengefulness under control. The eye for an eye maxim, no matter how appealing it may be to us, does not give us back what we want, which is our highest good. Revenge may be the most tempting emotion you have, and it may be something you have to deal with every day. But if you're trying to operate with your own best interest in mind, then it is yourself that you need to think about, not the other person or situation. Just as it is important to know how our nurturing self is most activated, so is it important to know how our vengeful self is activated and under what circumstances. We all experience rage, and rage at being treated unfairly is the most potent. One final thought. The entry for sediment found in a dictionary, which is solid fragments of inorganic or organic material that come from the ring of rock and are carried and deposited by wind, water, or ice. It's quite poetic in a way. I think of all the years that had to pass to weather the rock, to grind it and chip its bits off. Then the elements of the universe, the air, the water, perhaps even fire, taking these bits and bringing them down to earth, to the ground, and there sprang Lilith. Lilith combines all of that plus metamorphosis into all that we have beneath our skin, the bits that didn't wear away, that stayed alive and true about us. They're still there, and we need to acknowledge them and face them to make them our own. In that process, we become real, not just a stick figure drawn in someone else's notebook. Lilith, along with Ceres and Pallas and Juno and Vesta, can shore our sense of self together into a tapestry that is written with our own names, the most sacred and highest, which are the ones we have created for ourselves. And so I'll give you guys the link to that article. Okay, and so there's that. And then now there is, let me just see, I just got to get in the right order here. Okay, there's still, let me get over to my other browser. Dark moon. Okay, do I have Okay, so there's some that look like they've just been like sort of ripped off of from other people. There's other areas which is better that also sort of tell similar stories about Lilith being Adam's first wife, and they talk about how she's made of impure. He's made of dust, and she's made of sediment. And this is the explanation why she went bad, and this is why when they decided to get a replacement wife for Adam, they took it from a rib of his, and they would therefore be able to make a more pure. But that bitch went and bit the apple. So what do you? Anyhow, so there's different versions of the. There's versions that say that these three angels went and they killed the demon babies of Lilith, and then there's others that really just talk about how Lilith leaves Adam, and that after refusing to return, she becomes bitter and she starts killing off his kids. And so in those versions of it, there's no retaliation that she's doing. In the other version, she's actually not the first to strike, other than she didn't want his sweaty body laying on hers, and basically that actually makes Adam a rapist by today's definition, right? He tried to force her to have sex in the way that he wanted sex. And she wasn't having none of that, and she got out of Dodge. And so, in a sense, all those Bible dudes and everything were probably all a bunch of rapists, I'm going to go to hell for that, right? So I'm not a Bible person, right? So I don't mean any offense to anybody at all, by saying that, okay? Let's just get that said, okay? Now, so there's three Liliths, and some call that the triple goddess Lilith. And so the best layout that I found, is the one I'm going to share with you here. Then I'm going to run some of your guys. I'll bring Brittany on, and we can run some of the birth dates through the ringer here, and find out what the Lilith Moon astrology says about the negative side of your personality, or the dark side of your personality. And so anyway, so the three Liliths, Lilith in astrology incorporates three entities: the Black Moon Lilith, the Asteroid Lilith, and the lesser known Dark Moon Lilith. And together they work as a triple moon goddess, which describes the process of transformation. The three Liliths are also useful in pinpointing which brand of Lilith energy is strongest in your chart, and at which stage you may have the most issues. After studying Eris in detail, it's apparent that she is the higher octave of Lilith. Eris is the uber-dark goddess, and by combining her with the outer planets, we can see how each corresponds quite neatly with the three phases of the moon. To see Lilith, the Lilith astrology archetype in terms of a triple goddess makes total sense. After this, to the person writing this article. And after this person wrote this post, they discovered Demetria George had come up with a similar concept about Lilith. Comparing it to the Bible story, she says, quote, "The asteroid Lilith describes the first stage in the mythical journey where she's suppressed, humiliated, and flees in a fiery rage to the desolate wilderness. The dark moon Lilith depicts the pain of her exile, where she plots and executes revenge. And the Black Moon Lilith shows how she transmutes her distorted image back into its natural, healthy expression." So the Black Moon Lilith has got one in the middle there, right here. And over here, at the apogee, the furthest point from the Earth, is where the dark moon Lilith. And so, I guess make this here the asteroid. You know what I mean? I'm not clear on that. In any event, asteroid, crescent moon, 1181 on astro.com. The maiden, these are cards. So the maiden, puberty and virginity, colorful white orbit. She's the only solid representation of Lilith found in the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Takes 4 years to orbit the Sun and was discovered in 1927 with a diameter of 67 kilometers. The key words for that are rebellion, feminist, prostitution, exile, freedom fighter, confrontational, equality, impulsive, innovative, unconventional, asexual, instinctual, hands-on healing. She is hands-on with her energy as represented by the hand-like glyph. I'll give you guys this link too. Earthy and practical, she reflects the part of the creation myth where she protests to God about having to lay beneath Adam, not being treated as his equal. Asteroid Lilith is like Uranus / Eris. Uranus, having been castrated, makes him asexual. He's often cited as being the gay planet, which is suggestive of alternative lifestyles. The fact that he was castrated by Cronus, Saturn, is interesting. Another symbol of patriarchy whipping off power from this eccentric ball breaker. Okay, the Black Moon Lilith, the full moon, comprising true oscillating Lilith. It's age 13 on astro.com, and mean Lilith from their regular drop-down menu. I guess they're showing me where to go to get the card or whatever. The mother, creative and sexuality, and the color is red. Orbit, it has a 9-year orbit and interestingly spends 9 months in each sign. Very apt for the full moon phase. This describes beautifully the gestation of oscillating Lilith to mean Lilith in the corridor being the womb. The key words for that are magic, animal magnetism, kundalini, creative force, tantric sex, seduction, intuition, psychic ability, imagination, poetry, psychic healing, hypnotism, charisma, glamour, shamanism, mushrooms, and psychedelic drugs. This is not a solid object, it's a point of alignment. Remember, this point, it's just a point of alignment between these two. There's no solid mass, it's not anything. And so the black moon is the apogee of the moon's orbit, the point that is farthest from the Earth, just as points like the North Node and the vertex are hugely important, so is the lunar apogee. Just as there is a lunar mean and true node, so there is a mean and true oscillating Lilith. And there's a true Lilith to have just as strong an influence as mean Lilith. This is astrology terminology that makes my head spin, you know what I mean? Together they form, according to Lilith expert Kelly Hunter, a black moon corridor. The true Lilith has a wildly vacillating orbit and demonstrates the same quality as an anaretic planet, potent, fermenting, on the verge of changing. Mean Lilith is more like a fermented, refined, and stable magic. Black moon Lilith is like Neptune or Eris. This part of Lilith myth corresponds to the forbidden fruit episode, where Lilith comes back as a serpent. The serpent represents occult knowledge, while the apple representing sex or entheogens. Neptune is very much like a psychic sponge. The zone has shamanic qualities, a similar effect to using drugs to break down the barriers to the unconscious. Like deceptive Neptune, when drugged, this zone can let in the demons as well as messages from spirits. And then the dark moon Lilith, and this is the one that's the at the apogee, the furthest point from Earth, the moon's orbit, the furthest point from the Earth, when it's at its furthest point from the Earth. And where are you? Okay, dark moon Lilith, new moon, also known as Waldermath moon. That I think came up earlier in the discussion as one of the people that said they saw the dark moon. And it's H58 on astro.com. Menopause and the shadow. The color is black. Orbit. It flies through the chart like a witch on a broomstick, taking 119 days to travel round the Earth, spending 10 days in one sign. Sighting of this mysterious second moon goes back as far as 1618. It is supposed to resemble a sphere-shaped dust cloud. In 1918, astrologer Safariel claimed to have confirmed the existence of Waldermath's ghost moon. Keywords: vengeance, sadomasochism, demons, the shadow, rage, anti-mother, fairy tales, nightmares, ghosts, nymphomania, gremlins, psycho, toxins, depth, psychology, stalkers, emotional pain, catharsis, and madness. The dark moon is the hurt, nasty side of Lilith, and very much like Algol, the notorious fixed star. It can be channeled beneficially if it's used without ego to release negativity through creativity or art therapy. It's the part of the Lilith myth where in exile she turned baby killer out of revenge to God. Dark moon relates to highly individualized soul desires that are denied personal satisfaction for higher expression on social or spiritual levels. Dark moon Lilith is like Pluto. The shadow and demons are very much part of Pluto's underworld. Generally, he's thought to have raped and abducted Persephone, but in other versions, Persephone goes willingly. Dark moon then can work two ways like the myth. We either face our demons and release them safely or bury them. If they're allowed to fester, they become enraged, then we risk them breaking out and physically raping us. And so this is why we always say, you got to face it. You got to acknowledge it and deal with it, understand that it's there. you keep denying it, and you're in for a hard landing there. So the three Liliths in your horoscope, basically, I'm not going to be able to do that for you guys. You know what I mean? But there is, if you're ever getting an astrology reading, then you could ask about the Lilith Moons and see what they say about that. Yeah, Lilith has also very much been adopted, I guess, in the vampire community as well. Any of those kind of, you know what I mean, occults and things like that. So, Dark Side. I was playing A Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd before you got here. And I stopped the second I saw you, Heath. As soon as I saw you, I hit the stop button. I'm just kidding. And so, so having said that, there's more. You know what I mean? Like, there is more. Lilith is okay. There's so much more. Lilith, the dark moon, in the beginning was the great goddess, and the goddess was the earth, and the earth was the goddess. The origins of the cult of the great goddess lie hidden in the dim twilight of prehistoric time. The goddess ruled for hundreds of thousands of years. In the course of time, the mother goddess was overthrown and driven under, and the triumph of the most patriarchal of archetypes, Yahweh, the Father, Allah, was complete in the Judaic, Christian, and Muslim worlds. It was only in the tamed form of Mary, Mother of God, that some aspects of the Mother Goddess were permitted to survive. Various Black Madonnas in ancient sanctuaries still bear witness to her. And the figure of Lilith represents one aspect of the great goddess. In ancient Babylon, she was worshipped as Lilitu, Ishtar, or Lamashtu. Jewish mythology already puts her into darker realms, an evil demon of the night, a fitting mate for Satan, lying in wait for men and killing children. The astronomical Lilith, the moon, travels along an elliptical path around the earth, and he has two focal points, and the other focal point, not occupied by the earth, has been called the dark moon, the black moon, or Lilith. This is a slightly simplified definition, since actually the moon and the earth both move around the common center of gravity, and the path of the moon is not a neat ellipse, but rather a wobbly affair. One must distinguish between the mean orbit of the moon, which is a slowly elongating ellipse, and the actual orbit, which vacillates around the mean path due to interference of various kinds. Just as there's a mean and a true lunar node, there's a mean and true ellipse and a mean and true Lilith. I write true in inverted commas because the moon's node is only true about twice per month when the moon is actually on it. The rest of the time, it's as untrue as the mean node. In fact, when working with a point so close to the Earth, one should also take the great parallax into consideration. That is, consider from which point on the Earth one is actually looking at a point in the heavens. Oh my God. Astrology observes the planets geocentrically as if it were from Earth's center and not topocentrically from the actual place of the observer. And so that like throws. Anyways, the dark moon has also been defined as the apogee of the moon's orbit, or that point in the orbit farthest from the Earth. Both these points, the apogee of the second focal point, lie on the long axis of the orbital ellipse, the line of apsides. Seen from the Earth, they lie in the same direction and therefore occupy the same place in the zodiac. The second focal point lies at a distance only about 36,000 kilometers from the Earth, and the apogee is about 400,000 kilometers. Apart from this, both definitions can be regarded as being equivalent. Because the orbit of the moon continually shifts forward in space, the dark moon moves along the zodiac at about 40 degrees per year. A complete revolution takes 8 years and 10 months. Lilith in the chart, the glyph used for Lilith is a black moon, as opposed to that used for the real moon. Lilith is included in the chart drawing type. I'll give you guys this link. So go look at your natal charts and whatnot and see if you can find a black moon on your chart. Interpreting Lilith, this person here, Joelle de Graveline, basically says, during my years of astrological practice, I've come to use the dark moon in all my chart analysis as a complement to interpreting the moon. It would never occur to me to neglect this influence. The dark moon describes our relationship to the absolute, to sacrifice as such, and shows how we let go. In transit, the dark moon indicates some form of castration or frustration, frequently in the areas of desire, a powerlessness of the psyche, or a general inhibition. On the other hand, it shows where we question ourselves, our lives, our jobs, and our beliefs. I feel this is important since it gives us the opportunity to let go of something, and the dark moon shows where we can let the whole flow into ourselves without putting an I in the way, without putting up a wall in the form of ego. At the same time, it doesn't indicate passivity. On the contrary, it symbolizes the firm will to be open and trusting, to let the greater world flow through one, relying entirely on the great laws of the universe, on that which we name God. To prepare us for this opening, the dark moon creates a necessary void. So first, what I want to do is give you guys, here's the link to the stuff I read just before that. And let me get into the right browser. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay, I'll get into the right browser. And, okay, copy. And this was the all that information about the triple moon goddess. And that which I just read for you is from here, astro.com. And there you go. Okay, so now I've caught up to that. Let me entertain you. Let me entertain. Okay, what's anybody saying anymore? Hello, Kathleen. So stop typing, everybody, for a minute. Okay, let me see where we're at. How uncomfortable are the boys having heard the word castration several times tonight? Okay. What's dangerous? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm fighting my dark side. 46 years. Okay. Oh, your sound is not doing good. It keeps jumping because every time you guys type, the chat moves from where I was reading. So it's just going to take me longer to stop typing for one moment. Well, at any given moment in time, all the planets and the moon and everything is in a certain point from where you're at. And so when you're getting your natal chart, pretend you're laying like this, you know what I mean? Okay? And like, it's like an upward view of where everything is in relation to you at your latitude and longitude. And so wherever the moon is for you at that time, right? Then the earth, the moon, the earth, and blah. So like it'll be, you see what I mean? Like it's based upon when you were born. And so then at any moment in time right now, it would also be based upon, like, you know, the Lilith moon would be in a different spot for me than, say, Dorothy or somebody way over there, and you know what I mean? Because we're in different points of the earth. And so that's my lame, what's the word I'm looking for? Amateur, not even amateur. Layman. My layman thought on that. Okay, so now I do have some fun. So we got that. I'm just going to close all these. Now there is this, but this got a little bit icky at the beginning, so I didn't even really want to. I didn't really want to go there, and it's written in the first person. So I'll give you guys this link. Mountain Astrologer also has quite a lot of information on the Lilith Moons and this kind of thing. Okay. So having said that, Brittany, I'm going to come to you now. Okay. Hi, Brittany. How you doing?
Hello. How you doing?
How's it going? Good. You?
Oh, good. Good. I'm happy to finally be here. I haven't been here in like a little bit. I keep trying to, but it's hard.
Well, like I see you here in like overtime for 2 or 3 nights in a row, and like I keep trying to say hi to you, and there's no one on the other end. So I don't know if you're here.
Last night.
Okay.
I was quick before I went out, but the other 2 nights, I wonder if I left my computer on. The other 2 nights
I don't know, like, I can't promise it was 3 nights in a row or what, but it seems to me a few times very recently, you know what I mean? And one for sure last night, but anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So here, let me show everybody based on you, okay? So what's your date of birth?
You want the year, month, and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. It's August.
Okay.
7th.
Yeah.
1986.
86?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, so this is your Black Moon info. Your Black Moon sign is indicative of the negative characteristics you have in your nature and personality. Okay, so this is going to give you an insight into the dark side of the personality through the Black Moon astrology or the Lilith analysis. So, Black Moon Lilith astrology is a sign of sensuality, strength, independence, and your need for rebellion. It stands for all the negative feelings that we feel towards people and circumstances. Black Moon Lilith astrology sign Gemini, keywords, intuition, communication, dual personality, mental tension, anxiety. About your sign, are you a Gemini?
No, a Leo.
Okay, August 7th, 1986, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Black Moon Lilith is in Gemini, is what that means, and the keywords are that I said. For you and about your sign, you may have communication problems. People may mistake your straightforward attitude and ask you to shut up. This affects you negatively, but honesty gets the better of you. There are 2 faces to your personality, one that is normal and the other that increases the negative qualities. You will need to maintain the right balance so that the bad doesn't control the good. The brain needs to work in tandem with the body and should not have a life of its own. It will be difficult to keep the anger and negative thoughts away, but this can be done with patience and self-control. Agitation, anxiety, worry, tension, etc. needs to be dealt with by making an extra effort. You will be intuitive and sick by nature. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, I do always say that my best and worst qualities are probably the fact that I can't beat around the bush or like be phony or fake.
Right.
That's just always it's hard for me to fake it. I mean, I usually like everybody, but it's like 1 in 1,000 people. Mm-hmm. I don't, and if I don't, I just can't fake it.
Well, here's what it says about my birthday, just so you guys know I'm not just out here to find everybody else's darkness, you know what I mean? So for me, the Black Moon Lilith astrology sign is Aquarius. The keywords are change, inspiration, helpful, ruthless, freedom. And about my sign, you have a great inspirational powers and can give a good pep to people who are down. You love public interactions and people may take advantage of your helpful nature. You're protective, sympathetic, and just in nature, but you may not get support when you require it the most. You can also be ruthless at times. You feel you have the authority to make your demands and can make people cry if they're not fulfilled. You're always in a hurry and have no patience to wait, and this can cause projects to be left halfway or changed suddenly. Your freedom is very important to you, and you will go to any extent to achieve it. And so that's basically just a little quickie analysis. Of course, it's not basing it on your time of birth or place of birth. For a more comprehensive, there is another site out there where you could get a more comprehensive reading based upon all of your exact particulars: birth date, time, place. And so now, you guys, Beth, how about if you're interested in us looking you up, and while I'm looking you up, you can ask Brittany a question if you like. She's here to do readings as well. But if you want and you're interested, unmute yourself, Beth, or ask me to unmute you. I can unmute you if you want. Okay. Oh, what happened? She took her microphone away. Oh my God, now she can't hear me or talk to me. So the rest of you guys, get yourselves. Mary Margaret, you're there. Do you want us to do that for you or what? Mhm. Hey, here's Beth is back here. I'll just unmute you, Beth. Hi, Beth.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. You want my birthday?
Awesome. Yes, please.
It's November 8th, 1963.
63. Okay. Hey, and do you have any kind of question or anything you want Brittany to look at for you?
Sure. Hi, Brittany.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. I guess I'm lying. I've been in a funk for a week. Pardon me, for a week or two. Am I going to get out of this crap?
Sure, hold on 1 second. I just want to ask you before I start, do you know anyone named Ray that has crossover?
Pardon me, what's the name?
Ray. Yeah, Ray.
Don't think so.
Okay, because I got that very strongly. This is before I pulled any cards. I just wanted to ask you.
Hi, Deb Schiller. Hi, Dan. Hi. Looky, who's back? David's back. And Renee Richards. Hello, Renee and Sherry. Hello.
Okay.
All the rest of you guys I said hi to already. We have to really find out why that piercing, terrible sound always happens on your phone, Brittany. Like the fire, it's the fire detector low battery sound.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't hear it myself.
Lucky for you.
I know. Okay. Let me just take a look at what I have. Everything should be neutralized this month. I know you said you're in a rut and in a rough patch. Can you hear me, Paul? Okay, by the way.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, pretty okay.
So that should, start to get better. Is this having to do? I don't know if it's particularly you, but I don't know if there's like a wedding going on or some sort of planning in the background. I don't know if it's for you or for a family member that's very stressful.
Let me make sure Beth is still there. Yeah, Beth is still there.
Here.
Beth, did you get her question?
Pardon me?
Did you hear her question, Beth?
I did. That's not actually, no, I can't relate to that exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, just because I'm just gonna be like upfront with what I get. There's a lot of commotion over planning of some sort of party, I think a wedding. Doesn't necessarily have to be a wedding. And then there's also issues as far as a property. That's in limbo. I'm also and then another thing too is something to do with like a personal injury. They're all like minor things, but it's like the combination of all of them that are making things very uncomfortable for you right now. Let me just see. As well as, I mean, I know I'm just throwing different things with you, but it sounds like you have issues going on in all aspects of your life. Career,
Pretty much.
love, family. Is your mother alive?
Yes.
She is, right? Is there an issue with also like where she's gonna go and placement of her and what's going on with her and her mental stability?
Well, you're getting really close. She was just diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's this last week.
Yeah. Because that is what stands out the most. And I even think maybe necessarily the thoughts I was getting before, maybe, just maybe flashes of memories that she's struggling with to piece everything together. Like I said, everything will get neutralized and everything will fall into place. The biggest thing that needs to be figured out right now at the moment is how, for the long run and the long haul, as while she's, battling with this, is, the different steps and plans that you can make for her that'll, but that will also be the best quality of life for you. That's not stressing you out.
Yeah, it's a lot of stress.
Yeah. And do you have other siblings?
Pardon me?
Do you have like brothers and sisters?
Yes, I do.
Okay. But I'm guessing right now you're one of the main people that is dealing with all of this.
Yeah, there's 2 of us that are dealing with this out of 4.
What I would do is get together with the other 2 and kind of make up a list of who will be handling what while you're deciding, where you're gonna be living or staying, and the best plan as far as like who can bring her to doctor's visits, who can, help her out with grocery shopping and things like that. Because if you don't devise some sort of plan, I feel like you're going to be taking much of the burden for all of this. But if you do like a meeting or, just even at a coffee shop or something and just make some sort of schedule, it'll go a lot better. Rather than just kind of winging it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I hope that helps.
All right. Well, here's your Lilith Moon, your Black Lilith Moon info. So it's in Scorpio for you. And the keywords: fantasy, past life, hidden secrets, suicidal impulses. You penetrate well into the minds of others. You will be deeply affected by the problems of others. And unless you're strong, this will have a negative impact on your life. This may cause you to be afraid to get close to others. You're very passionate and strong in your opinions, but you can't take too much of the tension and wish to take the easier way out. The hidden and secretive aspects of the world fascinate you, and you will need to control the destructive side of your personality.
Okay.
So do you wind up getting like really affected by other people's problems?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. But you already knew that. So you know that you gotta. So has that led you to keep more distance from people?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, you just take all you can take, and then it's just shut down.
Yeah. It's like no more. Like Amy always says, no more friend openings.
That's true.
No more friend. There's no more friend openings right now at the current time. And anyone I take on now will just be a, what do they call that? Not a friend, but like an acquaintance. Yeah. No friend openings, So, but the key to it is knowing what those are, and then you're forearmed, you're forewarned. You know what I mean? Forearmed. Like there's nothing wrong with being passionate and strong in your opinions. And there's ways of dealing with the stress and the tension, right? What happens to some of us though is that before we even realize it, it's already got its grip on us, right? And so it kind of sneaks in on us. And like I know I can be so tense that I hardly realize like how tense my jaw is and how all my muscles are all tensed up. And then when I finally relax, I'm like, holy crap, was I ever wound up tight? And I didn't even know it. So there's ways for you. Are you talking to me, Brittany? I'm going to mute Brittany for a second. Okay. So anyway, yes. So does any of that make sense for you, Beth?
Oh, it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. Interesting. So come Tuesday if you can. Melissa has written back to me already and said, yeah. So I said, can we talk about how the Lilith Moons figure into people's charts, and then look at a few people's. You know what I mean? And so maybe we can take a peek at a few people and see the exact placement for them and what that means.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you, Beth. I appreciate you calling in and playing with us.
Anytime.
All right. I hope you're feeling better. Like I hope you can climb out of this here funk and say funk you, funk.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks so much.
Okay. All right, Beth. Take it easy. Get the funk out. Get the funk out. Get the funk out of here. Okay, Brittany's back. Okay, now a couple people were tossing in. Now, Mary Margaret, just come on air, okay? Just come on air. Unmute your damn self.
Hello?
All right, so I have your birthday. And do you have any questions at all for Brittany in the meanwhile?
Oh, God.
How about just pull her can you just pull her a general or something?
I'll do that.
Brittany?
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Brittany. I'm sorry.
Is my sound breaking up a bit, or is all of our sound breaking up a little bit?
No, you sound okay.
Yours is better.
Okay. All right. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. I will sing until Brittany talks. Free up, Brittany.
Okay.
I can sing. Ding dong.
Yeah, that's our deal. Pizza.
Who's calling at your house on so late on a Friday night?
That's Pizza Guy.
Pizza? Oh,
Pizza.
there you go again, damn, talking about food. Gee, guys. Settle that dog down, man. Crap.
Oh, Lord. That's the cookie dog, the little one.
Mary Margaret, do you know anyone who passed away from heart issues? Their birthday would either been September or on the 9th.
My mom was September.
Okay. And did she pass away from heart issues?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I believe she's trying to come through. Because when I started to pull cards, I wasn't really getting new information. It was more somebody trying to connect with you. Okay. Would birds
Hang on just a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay.
What?
She has to go take her. Let me know when you're back, okay, Mary Margaret?
He's 20-something.
And
Did you?
I mute her. I don't want her. I don't want to be involved with her domestic pizza problems. You know. Like, did you tip him, or did you? What did you do to the dog? What's going on? And some
Sorry.
socks on the floor. Okay, there you are. You're back. Okay. So you had a mother that crossed from a heart issue that's born in September.
Yes.
Okay.
No, she wasn't born in September. She passed away in September.
She passed. Okay.
Okay. And would birds have any? Like, did she like birds, or did she have anything to do with birds?
Yes, she loved birds and hummingbirds.
Okay.
Big time.
Another thing I'm getting to is when she passed, or I don't know if when she was living too, was there some sort of jewelry that was almost like the only thing I could compare it to, it's not necessarily a friendship bracelet, but it's like a piece of jewelry that's like you and maybe other siblings, or just you and her, maybe you and your daughter and her had like matching jewelry. They like formed a heart. It was like you both had that were similar.
You're
or
breaking
like,
up, Brittany.
Can you hear me?
Broke up through I can hear you. Try that last bit again. You're breaking up.
Sure. Because I have a picture of like a jewelry, but it's like matching jewelry, or like jewelry that would, if you linked it together, let's say if it was a heart, like a half of a heart, and then another half of a heart, and if the two.
No, but she had we had bracelets that were kind of made alike with the beads.
Yeah. Gotcha. Matching jewelry. Okay. I'm just trying to see if I can get anything else. Also something about a trip when you're a child with her and her father
breaking up
on a train.
I wonder if I called you in on Skype, if that might help. Can I call you on?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, we could do that.
Okay, because I think we'll get a better reception for you there. So just mute yourself and let me find you.
Gotta sign in.
Okay, there. Oh, I have two of you. How come I have two of you?
Probably
because the one with
I updated it and it never was really the same. Yes.
Are you one like scantily thin one, like with a plunging, almost no clothing in this part of your?
I don't know.
With reddish hair, really. Sexy. That's your fun sex line there, isn't it, Brittany?
Maybe.
I have two. One is just go online with one of them because you're offline on both of them, and then I'll know which one it is.
Okay.
I heard it. There it is. Yep, it's the sexy, seductive. Okay, hang on. Okay, and we'll put you in. There. There now?
Yeah.
Okay. So just talk to me for a little bit.
Okay. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds way better. What do you guys think in the chat room? So, let's back up to the birds, because I totally wasn't hearing nothing. So birds.
Okay.
So the birds.
The birds.
Let me just put this to the side. Okay. Yeah, no,
What you should do is you might be getting sound twice, from the. So click on the headset in the chat room, and that'll cancel your sound in the chat room, and then you'll just have sound through Skype.
Hello?
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now I will not say another word.
I don't see the red X thing. Well, I think it's all right. I think it's good now. Yeah, no, I was getting birds for her that she had something to do with birds. I think you heard me on the jewelry part. The part I'm not sure if you did hear is you and your family, if you guys went on like a family trip where you took the train. I have a feeling you guys didn't go on too many family vacations because it seems like your mom and your father were very hard workers and didn't take too much time off. So this would be like more of like a memorable, I guess, vacation. Let me see if I'm getting anything else with that.
We went to Yellowstone the year they had the big earthquake up there. We just got back out of the mountains.
Wow. Then I'm getting like an M name. Like I want to say like I don't know if this is your name. I think to be another family member. But like mauve or like the color mauve. I'm not really.
Mauve or mauve.
I'm trying to sound it out in my head, but it's not really a name I'm recognizing. The closest I could say it comes to is like a mauve or. It's an M name for a female. It's older.
An M for a
female. Older female. Can't really think of anything else similar to it.
Oh,
or like Maven or
Mavis.
Yeah, like an older woman, clearly like an older woman.
Okay, well, do you remember the show like Maude and then like the Golden Girls? Like, was there any connection to any of that? Were you Margaret, your mom, or anything? No,
her mom.
Her
mom was Gertie, and she had a twin named Bertie. It's not. It's you're real sure on the M. I'm trying to think of M.
That's okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
I'll come back to it, or it might, maybe it's for someone else. I'm also getting like a very picture of kind of an odd-looking church that is more. It almost looks more like a tower than a church. Very like pointy and skinny at the top.
Yeah, they had a country church down by the farm, just the one room with the steeple.
It's very strange looking. Like it's a very pointy. Yeah, like I said, it looks like a tower. With maybe like two smaller towers or on the side. It's just strange. It doesn't really look like anything I've ever seen before me. And I'm trying to see if I'm getting anything else. I'm just seeing like a lot of, I mean, obviously you said you grew up on a farm, but I'm just seeing like bushels of hay, like wrapped together.
Mhm.
I don't know if that was anybody's job in particular, if when you were a kid, if that was your job, was putting like the hay together, but yeah, I'm just seeing kind of, like almost if you were to go pumpkin picking, how to get that up, like with the long hay.
Yeah, we went down there, and I'd always go with my grandma to get the eggs from the chickens and milk the cows and stuff like that in the garden. She had a big old garden.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this is being brought up to maybe have you go back to your childhood and kind of get back to those simple things in life that made you happy, or simple type of life.
When my cousin just passed away yesterday, and he lived down on the farm when he was little with his mom and dad down there a little while. And I just wrote a poem, and in the poem I wrote about the tall grasses in the meadow and the fragrant blooms, and maybe she's trying to let me know that she read my poem.
Yeah, I would say, because there's just a lot of memories. It's just like freeze frames of different things that aren't of this time. Not that long ago, but, of not, modern day times. So yeah, that's definitely.
I bet that's what it is.
So I hope that helped.
Well, thanks, Brittany. That's awesome.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so for you, your Black Moon sign is Aries, and the keywords are sensuality, strength, rebellious, and action. It's funny because something else I got for you recently was all about exercise, and you're all, not me. Anyway, you need a lot of physical exercise in the form of walks, dance, or aerobics. You need to release a lot of energy. This is a very active sign, and energy must be released in your activities. You will be confident, positive, assertive, and independent. Ignore all the negative thoughts and live your life to the fullest. Be careful not to be too impulsive, as this may lead to violence. You will be extremely rebellious and find it very difficult to stay within the law. And your aggressive behavior can be the cause of all your troubles. You will make good revolutionaries and guerrillas who fight for the liberation and freedom. Now, remember, this doesn't mean that is how it means that's what's potentially there in the dark side or the shadow side, right? And so if you have a way, of, I knew it, yeah, she's she was running moonshine down highway, and heavy-footed, speeding
down the lane.
Yeah. So, does any of that make sense for you?
Well,
you don't
if my leg worked, my girlfriend told me that when we were young, she said, Mary, you never walked anywhere. She said, I was always jingling my keys and I went everywhere fast. And now, with my leg, I don't do anything. So that, yeah.
But have you been rebellious at any point, or is there a rebellious side to you?
Not that I can, not like illegal rebellious.
No. But
if somebody tells me to do something, or I can't.
Do you buck authority, or do you have a challenge dealing with authority, or?
No, I hold a grudge. If somebody, I really, I'm trying not to do that anymore, but I can hold a grudge.
Okay, well, so can I guess. Now, and aggressive, like you don't strike me as terribly aggressive.
I can be, I'm fine until I've had too much, and then look out. Or if I feel like I'm being treated unfairly and nobody will listen to my, so like the dream the other night at Silver Dollar City, how I started out nice and they didn't do anything, and then I was screaming at the top of my lungs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can be a biatch.
Okay. There you go.
Well,
there you go. For what it's worth, that's what it is.
Well, thank you.
So,
Thanks a lot, Britt.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll talk to you after. Okay, anyone else call in? Christy? And someone else threw dates in and stuff, but the chat moves too quick and I can't so either call in, you guys, or do something. Okay, Deb, Deb, what is it? Or can you come on air? Okay, are we gonna go to Christy? Hi, Christy.
I'm here.
Speak up, woman.
Hello,
Speak
hello.
up, woman.
You there?
0115.
Or did I mute myself again?
No, you're there. So, what's your birth digits there, woman? Your birthday?
Oh, January 18th, 1970.
18th, 1970? Is that what you said?
1970. Yep.
Okay, you're breaking up too. Everybody's breaking up. That's why I asked, am I breaking?
Yeah.
Did you say 1970?
I did.
Okay. So January 18th, 1970, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have any questions for Brittany?
Not tonight.
No? Okay. So your Black Moon Lilith astrology sign is Leo. Keywords: pushy, dominance, arrogance, creativity, power, and passion. You need to have a place to utilize your creativity. People may find you too open and unconventional to their liking. You're showy and magnetic charm that attracts people. No one will realize that you're dominating over them, and you will have a strong influence over everyone around you. You will be intuitively connected to people you love and know their likes and dislikes instantly. You will go out of your way to do things for everyone, but you need to realize that you should let others decide for themselves and not overdo things. Your ego will be hurt at times. Your need for passion can land you in trouble. And being controlled for your behavior in childhood can turn you into a subdued nerd, and you prefer to be a loner. So if you were controlled as a child for your behavior, then that would have changed who you became. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, does any of that make any sense for you?
I think so. I can be dominating. I think I'm very into people and family as well.
It's a good thing to have that ability to be like controlling everything without people knowing that you are. That's good. So you don't have to bash them over the head. You have the charm, and they're all just dazzled by your charm, I guess, and so they don't realize that you're domineering. And anyway, so there you go. That's it.
Well, thank you.
That's it. No, thank you. And we'll talk to you after.
Sounds good.
Okay. Deb. Hi, Deb.
Hello.
How are you doing?
We're doing good. We didn't quite melt to the pavement today.
Your sound is good.
Well, that's good. I went and did a sound test to make sure. So, okay, what do you want from me? My birthday? You got it, right? Okay.
I got it, Pontiac. So do you have any questions for Brittany?
I hadn't intended on it, but I wanted to learn about this Lilith Moon part. So I don't know if she can if Brittany can pick up on anything. That would be wonderful.
So while I'm doing this, Brittany, see if you can
that's good.
figure out something for her. So your Black Moon's astrology sign is Pisces. Keywords: clairvoyance, intuition, magnetism, health problems. This sign helps you tune into the unknown mystic world. You have an intuitive and karmic side to your personality that can help you achieve divine bliss. You're very sensitive and emphatic. Mundane and routine life is not meant for you, but you still put up the pretense of leading a normal life so that you're not treated differently. This is a sign that might be earlier in life. You know what I mean? This is a sign of fantasy and imaginations. You would love to be lost in oblivion with no worries or tensions. You will have psychic and clairvoyant tendencies, and leading two lives can cause a lot of strain on your health. Interesting. If you go back, to an earlier part in your life, you know what I mean? That's what's going on for you, really. Two lives. You had issues with creep husband, but at the same time you were a nurse and everything else, working and all that, right?
Right.
And then that affected your health.
Well, yeah, they're still having, finding issues that are coming up that are directly related to the beatings that I got from that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're, related, but they're manifesting more and more now, the damage.
Yeah. Because as we get older, all of them old injuries start aggravating bad on us.
Yeah.
So, of course, we know that the intuitive and clairvoyant stuff is absolutely true. So I think that's pretty good for you.
I think it was pretty accurate. Now, where did you get that part out of? Was that on the Dark Moon side?
I'm going to give the link after, because otherwise everyone's just going to rush.
Okay. No, I thought maybe because I got here late that maybe you had already said where you were getting it from.
No, because if I do that, then everybody just goes and then we have nothing.
I'll be
So I'll go ahead and. All right, thank you. And do you have anything, Brittany?
Is there? I don't know if you're where you live or close to or wherever, but I'm picking up like someone in your family. I don't know if they were a fisherman or someone who really enjoys to fish.
Okay. Yeah, my father.
And there was something about I don't know if there's like a decorative key that's hung up in your house that's of some importance. I don't know if it's like a real key or like a antique key or like maybe a key with like a saying on it. But I got an image of like a key that's hung up, not like a house key, like a key, like a decorative key.
We used to have one in the homestead that was hung up, yeah.
Yeah, it was, I don't know why, but it was up in, that it was of some friends. I don't know if a friend gave it to you or if you bought it or a family member, but for some reason they're making it seem like it meant something to you or it was important or there's something behind it. And then another weird thing that I got was like either jewel tone shoe, like high heel shoes or like sequin shoes that meant a lot to somebody.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you want to say sequins or rhinestones, but some sort of like sparkly kind of high heel like evening shoe.
Right. Just which one do you mean?
What'd you say?
They were from the 50s actually. They were black velvet on the straps, and then the top was the clear with the rhinestones embedded in it.
Yeah.
And it was the one pair of shoes that Mom wore out dancing, like for weddings or New Year's or, anything like that when she'd go dancing. She had one pair.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That was actually the very first thing I wrote down that I was told to bring up that was like of importance. And I'm just really trying to see, there was something else that they wanted me to bring up. I had it and then it just like disappeared because I went on about the shoe. Oh, this is the second thing. I don't know if you got maybe bad news in June, but if you did, don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine by August. I thought it was kind of like unexpected news that people weren't, I don't know if your family or you or, people weren't expecting, and it was just a hard hit. They're not really giving me what it's about because I don't really think it's any of my business, but whatever is the case, I know people are still worrying about it right now. Everything will work out the way it should.
Okay.
If anything, it's going to bring opportunities into your life. And this is just like a step in a process of your life that are going to bring better things into your life. But unfortunately, the way that it's coming about, it starts kind of like a hard hitter of information.
Okay.
So I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm not really getting anything more about it.
Okay, but you brought in quite a bit. I just had one question. The key that you saw, does it look like an old-fashioned skeleton key?
Yeah. It's like a gold, I want to say gold-plated, like.
Yep, I know which one it is and what it means. Thanks. That's an inside thing, and that tells me a lot. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Thank you both.
Thank you. And just, can you figure out? Yeah, she did. I'm playing between your beats now. I'm trying to see if it's. I want to see how we have to boil water.
Actually, I know what you're talking about now.
Okay, so what is it? What do you think it is? Is it a minute timer? Is it? Huh?
You might be right. It'd be a fire.
Oh.
I never heard it until just now.
You got to be kidding me.
Mm-mm.
You're living there and you have a freaking battery smoke detector going off like that, and you never
like a
hear
shriek kind of beep?
Yeah, it's like a little shriek, like when shoes used to squeak on a gym floor or something. That screech.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear it?
No.
There.
Yeah.
What
I don't know.
that?
I don't know. It probably really is.
How can you possibly live there all this time, Brittany, and not?
I know what I mean. Like, there's always going on in other.
Really go check your effing,
Yeah.
Oh my God, Brittany. I would jump off a roof if I would not be able to handle.
I had no idea until literally just now.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay, Carol, unmute yourself.
Okay, am I on?
Carol. What's your birthday?
9/26/1960.
1960?
Yep, September 26, 1960.
Okay. You have any questions for Brittany?
No, she can do general if she wants to. I really don't have too many questions right now.
Okay. Well, I'll go first, and you figure this out for her. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So you got the Black Moon's astrology sign is Cancer. Family rejection, imagination, karmic debts, and emotional. You will embark on a personal journey of discovering yourself and the truth behind your very existence. This may be scary and frightening, and you will need to put up a mask of happiness for people around you. You will go back to your family roots, especially your mother, asking questions that have never been answered before or may have no answers. You may not be sure of your inclination towards your family to stay or not stay, but this does not deter you from performing your duties towards your family. You need to keep your independence intact to be able to fulfill your obligations. Wow, that couldn't get any more dead on, I think, for you.
Huh?
Here, I'll type it into the chat room. There. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because if I was breaking up, then nobody's probably hearing their readings at all. But anyway, there's what it says. I think it's bang on for you, girl.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, Brittany?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Reading it. I'm just like, yeah. You're correct.
It's okay, because I'm still trying to pick up stuff. I just trying to figure out the last one.
Hey, stop typing, you guys, so Carol can read her thing. Stop typing.
It's the truth. It's factual.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Now you guys can type.
Sorry.
Oh, your sound totally sucked, Deb. Your sound everybody's sound sucks, and my sound is awesome. So what do you got there, Britt?
Okay. Well, the first thing I wrote down was the name Jean, and then I got that song I had, like that Sleepy Jean. Who sings that song?
Sleepy Jean.
And I started
what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming? Okay,
yep, and that's exactly what I wrote down. I think Jean before too.
He kills me. He's so funny. He's like the Monkeys and Neil Diamond.
Okay. So yeah, that was the first thing. Another thing is there any babies or anything on the way? Because I also got an image of a stork.
What? What?
No, your family, probably.
Oh. Yeah. I'm listening.
Okay. And would the animal, like a bear, would that have any significance to you?
I like bears, but you know what? One was found not terribly far from here. Actually.
Okay.
I was just reading about it.
Okay. And then there's something. Is there kind of like, it sounds weird, but like an unsolved mystery thing in your family?
Honey, with my crew, there's always unsolved mystery. Trust me.
I hear you. I want to say though more about somebody's passing.
I don't know.
Where it was like kind of left open, or was really able to determine what exactly happened to them. Because I'm getting like an open book, and I have a feeling it's to do with somebody's passing. And I want to say they passed away by the water, and it's still unclear what happened.
I think I know who you're talking about, and that's been years ago. And yes, I know what it is. I know exactly what you're saying, and water is definitely involved.
Okay.
You are correct.
Because I don't know if some anniversary or something is coming up for this person, or like however many, like a significant amount of that they've passed or something like that. But don't be surprised if you hear about it more, even though it's been a long time. Why, I don't exactly know, but it's very, very clear to me, like the images that I'm seeing. So I
know what you're saying.
See if I can get something else from that. I'm not really even sure myself what happened. I just know that it was a mystery. It wasn't really ever solved, and it was by water.
It's okay.
And sorry. Sometimes I just figure out where sometimes I feel like I'm not really even supposed to know.
It's okay, because I've wondered about it before. I have wondered many times about it.
Yeah. If whatever, like, speculations that you have that you think are what happened, you're right. That is what I was told to say also.
Well, it's because I've always been curious, and I've always questioned, and this is something I've questioned for many years. In my mind, it's like I know, even though I've been told that isn't right. I know. So because I know, there again, I know what I know, and I just tried not to say much because I know, but I don't know why I know, but I know. And when I was young when this happened, but I knew the story did not add up. And I haven't mind like an elephant. I don't forget. I forget.
Yeah. Like your speculations have always been right, and I think successful on what happened.
And it's not with the judgment. It's just I know what I know, and I'm like, okay, I'll hear what you have to say, but it's not the way I feel or what I believe to be. And even though I was told shut up, I shut up, but my mind never ceased on what I believe really happened.
Yeah, no, I hear you. When you get a feeling of something, it's always usually 100%. Like it happens for a reason. That's all I'm really saying. I am getting like flashbacks of things. I'm not getting clear-cut messages. I mean, here and there, but it's more people with unfinished business coming up for air. I don't know.
I know what it's about too.
Yeah. So I hope you could take that.
Well, I pretty much, I know sometimes, but you want things to be different than what they are, but you already know. So it's like, I'm going to deal with this. And I've come up with an attitude where, like, I know I got to put drama behind me and just look at it, things at face value, and just try to deal with it, because that's what I got to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's pretty much what it is. It's like some mysteries kind of are left mysteries for you for a reason, because if you did know, if you had more information to it, even besides your own intuition, it's just like it would open probably up a can of worms. So it's best to just kind of look at it like that.
And I've been concerned about a baby, trust me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I actually
I saw
that washing dishes today. I hope this isn't what's happening. And I may be, you know, I hope, but we will see.
Yeah, let me know.
I was washing dishes thinking that very thing, saying it out. You know, saying it out loud. You know. Well, we'll see. But I'm sure I will whatever it is, I'm sure it'll be all right.
Yeah, whatever will be, I guess.
It'll all be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I know one thing. I've gotten through worse.
Yeah.
Just smile and nod. I didn't really hear that last part at all. Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. So I thought that her pizza came an hour ago when the dog was having a conniption fit. Now she's saying cheap pizza. What? The husband gets the expensive pizza and you get the cheap pizza? I thought the pizza came an hour ago, man. And he's back. Oh. Oh, take that away. See, that's smart. Most people don't open it and look at, they charged them too much. Oh. Fuck you, I'm not paying that much. Get out of here.
Actually, that happened the other day. I didn't do it, but somebody at the bar did. $5, that's crazy.
So they probably ordered from a different place then. Yeah, don't order from the same place or else they're going to give you some extra goodies, extra toppings. Anyway. Okay, Carol?
Thanks, Carol.
All right, Carol, take it easy. And, okay, now listen, Brittany, we're going to, do you know where your fire detect
Honestly, this is, I'm back at my parents' house, and I don't know, there's a few, so I don't know. I will take care of it, but I don't know it's upstairs, downstairs.
Okay, so no wonder. Oh, there it goes again. Don't they hear it? What's the matter with them? That's funny. That's weird. That is weird.
I haven't noticed it. But you know what? There's always TVs going in every room and everything.
Noise all the time. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now, how bad is the sound right now, guys? Because me and Brittany, we're crystal clear to each other because we're on Skype. And so, I'm thinking I'd like to do overtime, but if the sound is going to just pick up and no one can hear anything anyone's saying, then it's going to be kind of a waste to do that, right? What do you guys say in the chat room? And anybody that I missed that wants me, here it is, guys. Go and do it your damn self. Go on your own damn reading. There. That's where you can go get your Black Moon sign. Here's your sign. And, whoa, that's really loud. That one. So does anybody, it sounds like the Transformers. So if it sounds really bad and you can't understand anything we're saying? Is that what you mean, Kathleen? Is anybody going to answer me at all? Maybe they can't hear me. It's aggravating, right? If you can't hear anything, then it's really hard to keep listening. Somebody answer me. Is nobody listening?
I'm down for whatever.
Oh, mine is choppy. I thought it was my headset. Yes, from the movie. What are you talking about from the movie? So it's a little tough. So it's bad. So we shouldn't do overtime, right? What should we do tomorrow? What should we do tomorrow, you guys? Any ideas? Any ideas? Okay, well, I'll have to figure it out then by then. Thanks a ton for calling in, Brittany, and helping us out.
Yeah, no problem. I like doing it a lot. Especially when I can, have a night off to do it.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's good for me. It works for me. And it was really nice to hear. I like when you do that. It's a nice little surprise in my.
Yeah. I'm sorry it's always last minute, but I wasn't sure what was going on.
It's fine, because it's like, I go, aw, Brittany's like looking out, and she's going, oh, Chris doesn't have, let me go offer Chris to come and help. And so that's good. So, okay. So let's call it a night then, kids. Everybody's got things to do, and I can go eat an hour early tonight. Yay! And so thanks again, Brittany. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you guys all for being here, and we're gone in 3, 2, 1.